Hey everyone, happy meal plan day, Wednesday. I'm so excited. So keeping my latest sort of, I just also went live on Instagram. So hi Instagram. So keeping tradition, when the new meal plan comes out, I always like to see if there's anything I can make straight off the bat. And it turns out I could make the tofu vindaloo from this week's meal plan. So I'm going to make that right now for lunch, with you guys joining me. I always love cooking with you. And again, hi to Instagram who's following me. I have two cameras going. This is fun. I have like Instagram in front of me and then my webcam here. So, hey everybody. If you're just tuning in, I'm going to make the tofu vindaloo from this week's meal plan, which is the August 16th meal plan. If you're watching late, I also have a whole bunch of shortcuts that I'm going to show you guys in the midst of all of it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Again, hi Instagram, hi Facebook. This is fun and crazy and it's wild. So tofu vindaloo, let's go. I'm actually posting it up on my cabinet today. So, it's a little easier. So I have everything already kind of set up. Everyone on Instagram, I don't know how much you can see. The first thing I'm doing is I'm using frozen rice because I can't be bothered to make my rice ahead anymore. So I'm just going to put this in my microwave real quick. And so while that's going, I'm going to start on the actual vindaloo part. Excuse me, Mateus. Got my big old skillet. Everybody see me? Oh, and this is a fun little hack that I'm doing right now, is I wanted to press my tofu a little bit, so I actually have my tofu wrapped in this kitchen cloth with like cans and a polenta on top, and I've been pressing it. So this is my like very hacky way to press my tofu, because I like my tofu pressed, so that's one of the ways I'm doing it, you know, making it work. I actually put that together while I was getting everything set up, so hi! The pugs are super jealous. We have a foster pug. There's so much chaos. You're going to get to meet them. All right, so now that that's going, one of my big hacks that I do all the time is I buy stuff either pre-chopped or I invested in this little mini food processor so that I could just make my life easier. And so I'm going to actually let that do all of my chopping for me today because it's my lunch break and I don't have a whole lot of time. So I'm just going to get my oven peeled and in there. I should have bought pre-diced onion, but I didn't, so no biggie. I'm just going to chop this guy up real fast. And I like to put it in quarters in my food processor. So, there we go. And that's it. I mean, it's so fast. So if you're not a fast chopper, look at that. What was that, 10 seconds? Did anybody count? Was that 5 seconds? And so now I'll just put it straight into my skillet here. Alrighty. Wow. And I'll get my water. I could have used broth too. Broth is great if you want a little bit more flavor. I don't always have broth around, so sometimes I end up using water interchangeably, but anyway. So that's that. Let me just get this all out of my way. Now for my ginger, same thing is I'm going to put it in here. And here's the thing, guys. I don't peel it. I do not peel my ginger. I just leave it as is. I've heard from so many people you don't need to. If you want to peel your ginger, cool, use a spoon. I know, I'm going to blow up your mind right now. But if you're going to peel your ginger, use a spoon. I'm not. I'm lazy. That's me. And what do I need? Half an inch. Oh, so when it's a half an inch, I know that the tip of my finger is about 1 inch. So that's a really great rule of thumb, literally a rule of thumb, is if anything says that it's an inch or it's a half an inch, you can use your thumb. So your thumb, measure it. I happen to really like ginger, so I'm adding a little extra. Throwing this sucker in right now. I kind of like having these two videos. Okay. And there's my ginger. Beautiful. See, look, how fast was that, guys? And, of course, you can buy pre-minced ginger, too. I don't like the way it tastes so much, but, you know, you do you. Do what makes it work for you. For me, I just love my little food processor here. And the rice is already done. Like this, I love microwave rice. It's already done. My rice is done. So I can just set this over there. All right, so let's see what's next on it. So while I'm waiting for this to get going, let me see if I got a top. Okay. So we're going to put a top on that. Come on back over here. So the next thing I need is my green beans. So here's the thing. So I bought green beans in a bag. Green beans in a bag. I could microwave these and have these beans cook even faster, which is what I'm going to do instead of putting it in the dish. So it's just a little bit faster for me that way. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these in my microwave. I'll just say 5 minutes because we like it done really, really, really well. So I can just put my thing away. Let's see, what's next? So while that's going, while my greens are cooking, while I'm waiting for this to go, I'm going to do my tofu. So as I mentioned earlier, I did a little hack job here to sort of press the liquid out of my tofu to make it a little bit firmer. So here's my tofu. And I'm just going to dice it. And this I am not going to use my food processor for. I'm going to just cube it. And this is very much a personal preference, how big or small or chunky you like it. So these are about the size I do. And if you end up liking it smaller, you can always, if it's too, you can always go smaller. You can't always make it bigger again, but you can definitely do smaller. And so I just kind of take a look and see if there's any like super large pieces that I maybe could have cut a little better. But overall, here's like the size of my tofu. I'm having ADD with who to look at. All right, now that that's going, just cook this up a little bit around. All right, let's see what's next while we're waiting for everybody. So now I can get my spices ready, which I did pull them out ahead of time. Move everybody over a little bit. So, and all this set up, oh, here it is. So I'm using my curry powder. Hi everybody, if you're just tuning in on Instagram or Facebook, I am making the tofu vindaloo from this week's meal plan with a whole bunch of shortcuts, because that's me, I love shortcuts. Alright, so I just added my curry, and I'm going to add my cumin. Is that right? Is it cumin? Is it cumin or cumin? I never know. Adding that. Oh, so here's a big secret. All right, so big secret time, guys. So I've talked about this in other videos. I usually don't have tomato paste on hand. Like sometimes I do, but not often. I was buying that tube for a while, but I use ketchup. I know, I don't tell anybody, but I use ketchup instead of tomato paste almost all the time. The tomato paste, the ketchup I'm using is unsweetened, so tomato paste is not sweet. But when I do use ketchup instead of tomato paste, I find I almost have to double it. It's like a little less than double. Start with the normal amount, just a simple substitution, and then you could add more depending on how much tomato flavor you like. But I use ketchup instead of tomato paste. It's an amazing, amazing hack, especially when you don't have stuff or you're like me. I just got this meal plan and I'm just trying to make it work with what I already have without going to the store because Mama is hungry and Mama wants lunch. So with that, here we go. Oh, and instead of measuring tablespoons, I do squirts. I don't know if you guys can see that over here. I just did 3 squirts instead of tablespoons. Actually, I can pick you guys up. See? Squirts. I hope I didn't make anybody car sick. So that's just my style. I'm going to add, like I said, I add a little bit extra. That's my jam. All right, so now this is going. I'm just going to mix it around a little bit, see what else is left. I'm mixing it here. We go. So now that I've kind of stirred it together, I can add my tofu that I chopped. And my green beans will be done in 30 seconds, so that's amazing. More stirrage. And while I'm waiting for that, I can give you one more hack before I go, because I'm almost done. Yay, I'm almost done. Yay, almost done. So, it actually came from my hack. If you don't want to keep a bunch of coconut milk on hand, like you just don't use it a lot, or this is especially true if you're using the individual plan, so my individual plan users, listen up. There's this new stuff. I've seen it, I bought it at Trader Joe's, of course, the coconut cream. But I've seen it at other stores too. I originally found out about this because I bought it by mistake. But anyway, this coconut cream, you can add just a little tiny teaspoon of it, like the smallest, littlest, babyest teaspoon of it, and it tastes like a whole thing of coconut milk. It's actually, I think, almost better than the coconut milk. So I'll just use my regular old Almond Breeze, just the Almond Breeze that I always got. This actually just came out of my pantry. With a little bit of this to give it that coconut creamy flavor. And then the best part is this hard stuff I can freeze. And so it'll end up lasting me 6 months. I'm not kidding, 6 months this stuff lasts me. And I'll actually bring it out a lot of times if I have omnivores visiting and they use it as creamer in their coffee because they're like into bullet whatever. So that's a really great hack if you don't want to use coconut milk or you don't want to buy coconut milk or you live in Australia and you don't have coconut milk. This is a great hack. Just use your almond milk or your soy milk and a tiny little bit of this coconut cream. And like I said, this is from Trader Joe's, but I've seen it at regular grocery stores too. It's just an option. You can freeze it. It works if you don't want to have coconut milk on hand. So that being said, my green beans are done. I'm going to open these up. And since the recipe calls for 8 ounces and this is 16, I know to use half, and the rest will be my snack later. Oh, there we are. See, look at that. Beautiful, beautifully cooked green beans. So I'm just going to do about half here. They're so hot. Hot green beans. Woo! I need like, okay. So I'm going to save, that's about half. Okay, so I'm going to save the other half, like I said, for later. But I did buy the already trimmed green beans, so I don't need to trim them. But what I am going to do really quickly is just cut them to be a little shorter. I'm going to cut my green beans to be a little shorter so they're not, because this is too long for a dish. So I'm just going to come through real quick and chop them into smaller, more manageable size pieces. This is the more manageable size piece. I don't know if you guys can see it. About the length of my thumb. And so I'm just going to do that really quick. And it also gives me a chance to see if any of the green beans have like weird stuff on them, because I just sound like this has like, I don't know what that is. So we're not gonna eat that. But it just gives me a chance to sort of come through here and sort of put everything in thirds. If you don't have pre-trimmed green beans, I use scissors. Like I just use scissors to trim my green beans. I don't bother with, I think I did a video actually on Instagram, or maybe it was on Happy Herbivore's Instagram that I did that. Anyway, this is fun. I really like having both the cameras. If anyone's just joining in, I'm making the tofu, or it's done, the tofu vindaloo from this week's meal plan that came out today. This is a really exciting meal plan. I'm super stoked about it. Let's see. Oh, and if you guys haven't been listening, do listen to Shortcut to Slam. The first 2 episodes are now out. You don't want to miss them. They're just so great. I look forward to hearing all of your feedback. I think that's pretty much it. Let's see, what else do I need to do? Cook that. Here we go. Almost done. I'm so hungry, so this is going to be so good. I can't wait to be done and get to eat this. Then I'll actually have leftovers for dinner tonight. My husband's got friends in town, so I'm really excited to know that I don't even have to think about dinner tonight. Although I have a feeling he's going to be very jealous he didn't get to eat any of this. Let's see. And last grouping. And I can actually move this out of the way now. Green beans. See that. And you guys can see how I have it. Like I literally have all of my cookbooks on a on a container. Like, that's my setup. Like, I'm so, like, I totally just make everything work in my life. Like, there's nothing glamorous here, guys. Like, I literally have you on a toolbox in my cookbooks. Like, that's my stand. I really should have something made. But anyway, so all I need to do now is add my little bit of milk here. And as I mentioned before, you can add the coconut. So just going to add this in. And I need to add in some coriander. And that's it. I'm done. Oh my gosh, my tofu is so pretty. It's all nice and yellow from the seasonings. All right. And with that, I am done. So hi Facebook. Oh, thanks for all the thumbs up and loves. Here is my lunch, all done, all made, beautiful, beautiful. My friends on Instagram, I'm going to pick you up. There it is. There's my beautiful, beautiful dish. So I guess with that, thanks for joining me, Instagram. And I'll end there. If you want to follow again with facing, it was a frontal facing video, follow Meal Mentor on Instagram. And thanks everybody for joining me. I'm going to eat my lunch. I'm super hungry. There it is. And I don't know if you guys can see, I got one pug. There's my new one. That's my foster, Mateus. And then Lily, she's at a weird angle. There she is. I can't lift them all at the same time. But they are all here. And if you've noticed, the boys are wearing belly bands because they've been peeing on each other. So have a great day. Thanks so much for joining me. I love you all. And bye.